This story right here needs to come with a full up and straight up disclaimer because of how extremely violent this story is. And I was battling whether I should have put this on Patreon or if I should do this as a pre-recorded video for YouTube. But ultimately, I decided I'm gonna just go and throw this one up on YouTube. But the details of the story are so extreme that it's teetering on that Patreon fence. So in this picture, you see an individual by the name of Moses Ojeda. I guess that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm assuming that the J is silent. And this guy right here, they say he's a teenager. They say he's a teenager, but he's actually 18. So by law, he's technically a grown man. They said that he stabbed this 81-year-old individual 113 times, allegedly because he was already dying. Now, the headline says that this guy is a roommate, but I don't know if he's the roommate of the 81-year-old or if this is a statement coming from somebody who lives with this 81-year-old. But either way, we know this 18-year-old stabbed this 81-year-old 113 times, and his statement of reason of why he did it is because he's already dying. That is insane. An 18-year-old man in Florida. Now it's crazy because the headline at the beginning of the article, it says teen, but then when I get into the article itself, they call him man, which he should be referred to as because he's 18. An 18-year-old man in Florida has been arrested for allegedly killing his 81-year-old roommate. Okay, so it's his roommate. Now I got another question. Why are you 18 living with an 81-year-old as a roommate? What kind of arrangement is going on here? Because from the sound of it, it doesn't sound like they're related. So they can't say that this is maybe a grandfather or in his case, a great-great-grandfather or whatever the case is. But why is an 18-year-old living with an 81-year-old? That's strange to me, but that's besides the point at this point. Stabbing the victim more than 100 times over the weekend and reportedly telling authorities it was because the elderly man was, quote, already dying. Moses Ojeda was taken into custody on Sunday and charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of tampering with evidence for the slaying of Patrick Benway, who authorities say suffered a total of 113 stab wounds. He was going in. And I wonder what type of knife he used, because to go 118 times, like he was stabbing him almost as if he was like a serial killer. He said this was a senseless and tragic act of violence. Our detectives, forensic investigators, and Bartow Police Department officers worked diligently to take Ojeda into custody and gather evidence to hold him accountable. According to a news release from the sheriff's office, Benway and Ojeda were living in a group home on Bluebird Avenue with 3 other roommates. The home was being managed by ET Home Care LLC, and Ojeda had only moved into the home 1 day prior to the stabbing after being released from a local hospital. Then he was even just a day after. That's crazy. And they said it was on a group home. That's a very interesting group home, for an 81-year-old, because even when I think of group home, I'm thinking of people who are rather younger, on the younger side. When detectives on the scene interviewed Ojeda, he allegedly told them he did not have any problems with the victim and described him as a good person. Ojeda confirmed to police that he entered Benway's bedroom, where he was lying in bed, and stabbed him multiple times. The victim did not physically resist, but did ask, according to Ojeda, "Why would you want to do this to me?" before succumbing to his injuries. Ojeda stated that he has no regrets and wanted to take him out because he was, quote, already dying. Oh yeah, send him up the river. This is an open and shut case right here. This is simple life without the possibility of parole. And I don't know if they honor capital punishment, but if it is, put that on the table. Like, he deserves that. I think he earned it. Ojeda told deputies that after fatally stabbing Benway, he cleaned the murder weapon before putting it back in the kitchen. He then allegedly took off his bloodstained clothing and put them in his laundry basket. Moses said that he went to the victim's bathroom, where he washed the knife and cleaned it up, and then he also washed the blood off of himself. He then replaced the knife in the butcher block where it was originally placed out of sight, Judd said during a Monday news conference. Detectives said all of the physical evidence gathered at the scene was consistent with the story told by Ojeda. Judge speculated that Ojeda's criminal defense attorney would claim that Ojeda was not in his right mind at the time of the murder, but said the defendant's actions showed he knew what he was doing when he allegedly killed Benway. Well, that's the thing. You can't use that he wasn't in his right mind, because after he did what he did and said he had no regrets and said he was already dying, and then cleaned the murder weapon and then took his clothes off and threw them in the laundry, that means he had cognizance of what he was doing. He was in his right state of mind when he did it. To say that he was out of his mind, he's a psycho indeed, but he was well aware of what he was doing in that moment. I mean, 113 times. It's not like he did it one time and just, okay, he just left. He did 113 times. He did this is like crime of passion. He wanted to take this man out. And I think what's crazy about it is he already said that he was a good person. Like, why would you go and do that to a person you claim that is good? It's a no-brainer that the defense is going to be that of insanity, but I'm telling you, he had clear criminal intent. He acted with malice, with forethought, and then he went through the effort to hide the weapon. Adrena Thornton, the landlord of the home, was in tears when she discussed Benway with Spectrum News. She says, "It's like the devil showed up at the door and rocked everybody's world, and it took an innocent man's life. He was very happy with where he was at. My mother had just talked to him the day before, and he was just real happy." Imagine that you lived 81 years and you meet your fate at the hands of an 18-year-old knife-wielding maniac just because. Like, he had the lust to want to take somebody out that day, and he went after a poor, defenseless, elderly man who he knew could not fight back. And then did it while the man was in bed sleep. Like, that's not only did he commit a horrific act, but he committed a cowardice one as well. At this one, like I said, all you can do is send him up the river. That's about it. Like, I would say not even waste time with a jury trial. Just have a bench trial. I mean, what can you possibly say to this other than he's guilty? Flat out. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.